Welcome to Wednesday Night Sky Yoga. I'm Stephanie. Today we'll be doing a warrior flow, but as always, we'll begin in a seated position with a little pranayama, intentional breath. So find a comfortable way to sit, perhaps with a cushion under your hips to lift them slightly over your knees. That helps to stretch your thighs and relax them out. And then your torso rises up over your balanced lower body. Arms are relaxed, so make sure your shoulders are loose, your elbows are loose. And then we're going to tuck the chin in a bit so you're looking down toward the floor. And you can just look at the floor or you can close your eyes. So feel your spine lining up from the base of your skull all the way down to your tailbone. And begin to observe your breath. And then what we do in the second part is change one part of the breath. So you can choose any aspect you want. You can focus on breathing more slowly. You can focus on relaxing your belly and drawing the air down toward your abdomen. I'm going to focus on longer exhale than inhale because that's very soothing to the nervous system. And now we'll switch to the third part of the pranayama, the cleansing breaths in preparation for a little more activity. So maybe realign your posture. I found my chin kind of jutting out in part two, so I'm going to tuck it back in. And for cleansing breaths, relax your belly, draw in a full breath of air so your entire torso inflates like a ball. And then with some force, you'll be expelling that air from the belly using your ab muscles to push it out. So here we go. Inhale fully. Inflate the belly, and then exhale using your belly. Feel it push back against your spine, and just keep breathing like that. And on this next one, feel free to join me in lion's breath by sticking out your tongue. You're getting a little bit of that Ujjayi roar. All right, let's work on the neck now, stretching the neck by dropping your head and let your head just hang freely. Maybe wobble slightly side to side. Feel the stretch going down your neck into your upper back. Continue to breathe. And when you feel like you're starting to limber up, then we'll start rolling the neck in a big semicircle from shoulder to shoulder. So chin to one shoulder, chin to the other side. And if that's feeling good, try for the full circle. If the full circle is not working for you, then that's okay. Go back to the half circle or even just letting your head hang. Do not mess with your neck. But if you are doing the full circle, try going the other way. Again, don't force it. And then come back up, sitting upright, and we'll open the arms wide and inhale and reach for the ceiling. And then exhale down. Inhale, reach up high. Exhale down. Inhale again. And pause here at the top. Feel your rib cage lifting upward. And then we're going to exhale to one side in a twist. So your hand goes across your body, grabs your opposite knee, and you look over the shoulder on the side you're twisting to. Continue to breathe. And on your next inhale, reach back up to center. Fill your lungs and exhale the other way, twisting to the opposite side, looking over your shoulder. And on your next inhale, come back to center. We're going to bring the arms down level. Reach, stretch through your fingertips. And then we're going to cross one arm across your body and bend the other to hold it in place. So we're stretching the muscles of the upper arm. Relax that extended arm so it can stretch. Continue to breathe. And on your next inhale, open wide again. And cross the other arm, bending to hold it close to you. The long extended arm is relaxed, and we're stretching the muscles in the upper arm, the deltoids, the biceps. The yawning fits, so sorry. And on your next inhale, open wide, reach up high. We're going to drop one palm and pat yourself between the shoulder blades, and then grab your elbow and pull it gently backward for tricep stretch. If your arms are pretty flexible, you can try bringing the grabbing hand behind you and grab that hand from behind. This is the bind from cow face, but I'm not going to push my recovering shoulder, so I'm just going to do classic tricep. Continue to breathe, and here you can really feel your whole rib cage expanding. And on the next inhale, reach up high. And exhale the other hand down between your shoulder blades, pulling that elbow gently back. Really feeling the flexion of the back muscles along the spine. And of course, if you're able, you can reach down with the other hand and grab your hand from behind. Yeah, I can touch my fingers, yay, but not going to push it. Don't do that if you have any shoulder issues. And let's inhale big and exhale into a hug. Gently pulling your shoulder blades forward. All right, let's relax, and we'll wrap up this bit with shoulder rolls. So resting your hands, roll your shoulders, inhaling up and exhaling down. Keep your neck nice and loose. And switch directions. Excellent. Okay, now we'll transition to hands and knees for cats and cows. So on your hands and knees with joints stacked, begin to extend through the arms, stretching your arms, pressing down through your hands. Feel your shoulders and your back rise up. Feel your belly button press up toward your spine. And feel that space opening up, especially in the low back. So arching the back up fully into cat. And then we exhale and push back to the heels. Exhale in this modified child's pose. And then drop your elbows and pull forward, leading with the chin and flipping the alignment of your spine. So now shoulders are high, hips are high, belly is down, and we're in cow pose. Inhale again, flip up into cat, and just continue cycling through. Exhaling backward, inhaling forward. Creating length in your arms and your back. And the next time that you are in tabletop, we haven't done horse pose in a while. Let's do that. So for horse pose, you're going to look, keep your arms and your thighs straight up and down. We're going to look over your left shoulder at your left hip, but without tilting your thighs, so that we're really focusing on the spine, curving your spine into a C shape. Breathe. On the inhale, come to center. And then exhale the other way, looking over your right shoulder towards your right hip. Thighs stay straight up and down. Breathe. Inhale, center, and give your tail a wag. Move those hips. All right. Now we'll go into a shoulder stretch, thread the needle. So leaving your left arm straight with joints stacked, we're going to inhale the right arm high, reach for the ceiling, and exhale it all the way down to the floor, resting on your right shoulder, maybe resting your right side of your head on the floor, or if that's uncomfortable, put a cushion under your right shoulder or under your head. We're going to bring the hands palm to palm and slide out your top arm, the left arm. Just reaching out, walk your fingers out, take your time. Your left elbow is somewhere over your right hand or wrist. Relax your lower body so you're sinking down. And then with an exhale, wrap your left arm around your back if you're able. And you can roll your right forearm along the floor with an open or closed hand. Let's unwind the left arm, bringing your palm close to your face, press up, and inhale the right arm high again. Exhale it down, you're in tabletop again. Now the right arm remains straight and supporting, left arm inhales, reaching high, and exhale down. Again, a cushion under the shoulder or head as needed. Relax your lower body. Hands palm to palm and slide out your right hand. Feel the stretch in both shoulders. It's a very different stretch. We're using all the body weight to press the left shoulder down. And we're extending the right arm to stretch the upper shoulder. And then on an exhale, wrap your right arm around behind you if you're able, and roll your left forearm on the floor. Let's unwind the right arm. Right palm presses up. Inhale the left arm high. And exhale it down. Nice. Let's go into kickstand now. So your right leg extends straight back, flex at the foot and roll your foot around. Roll it the other way. And then we're going to swing your leg out to your right as far as it will go. Come down to rest on your right forearms and elbows. Again, you might want a cushion under your upper body. And relax that right leg. I'm going to let my weight kind of drift over to the left until I'm actually sitting on my left thigh, and then reach for the right ankle. So the body going one way and the leg going the other way creates that stretch throughout the right inner thigh and hamstring. Maybe you can reach your toes and pull them back. Relax your ankle if you do that. And then slowly make your way back up to tabletop. And we'll switch sides. So from tabletop, extend the left leg straight back, flexing at the ankle, roll your foot around, circle it the other way, and then swing your leg out to the left. Yes, that was my ankle snapping. Come down to rest on your forearms and elbows. And I'm going to let my weight collapse to the right this time. And I'm actually sitting on my right thigh and reaching out for the left ankle. So stretch out your arm, relax your left leg. And again, maybe you can reach your toes. If so, relax your ankle and pull your toes toward your face. And then release your foot or ankle, bring your hand back, lift your hips and bring your knee back in. And we are ready for drunken cow, Sufi rolls. So from a tabletop position, hands and knees stay in place. And we start circling the body. Feel your shoulders and hips moving in their sockets. And maybe your circles get bigger as you limber up. This is a time when you might notice, oh, I really need something under my knees. So you can always put a folded towel or blanket under your knees or your wrists if any joints are bothering you. I'm on 3 layers of mats right now to protect my knees. And let's circle the other way. And then the next time that your hips are heading back, open your knees wide, big toes touch, and reach out long in front for child's pose. Feel from your fingertips to your hips a long swooping line like you would feel in down dog. And let your hips sink back, stretching your arms, opening up length in your back. And then we're going to come back up through tabletop, bringing the thighs back to parallel, and now lean forward, bringing your hips toward the floor. Arms can be straight up and down, or you can rest on your elbows in Sphinx pose. Either way, this is an ab stretch, so relax your abs and gently sway. You can look over your shoulders. Feel lots of ab muscles getting a good stretch here. Relax your legs, relax your glutes. Ooh. All right. And now we're going to come back up through tabletop and just do one conditioning exercise before warriors, I think. Yeah. We'll do pendulum. So from tabletop, extend your left leg straight back with level hips. Lift your right arm, and if it's too challenging to do both limbs, focus on one. Better to have good form with one limb than sloppy form with both. And now we're going to inhale and swing both limbs out to the side, attempting to keep them level. Feel your left hip working. And then exhale, back to center. Feel your abs working. Inhale to the side. Exhale, back to center. Inhale to the side. Exhale, back to center. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale, back to center and come down to tabletop. Good job. Wag your tail. And we'll do the other side. So extend your right leg straight back. Lift your left arm. You're going to inhale them to the side. Try to remain level. And exhale back to center. Inhale. Exhale two. Inhale. Exhale three. Inhale. Exhale four. One more. And back to center. Nice job. Let's sit back on the hips and stretch the forearms. So flip your palms out and bring them down to the floor. So your wrists are forward and your fingertips are pointing at your knees. Ooh, and maybe this is tough for you. This could be pretty intense. So sit back as far as you can comfortably. You may not be sitting down all the way on your heels. And just gently kind of rock side to side, sway, and feel that stretch going down through your forearms, down into your wrists. This is a great thing to do after you've been typing or driving all day, contracting your wrists. We're going to make our way to the back now and do a quick back stretch before warriors. Warriors are very taxing on the back. So flipping around onto your back, hug your knees and rock side to side. And now lift your feet, reach up as high as you can, shins, ankles, feet, and rock here in happy baby. Pull your feet wide apart. Feel that nice opening pressure on the hip joints. Woo, and the mat rolling against your lower back. Well, really, it's your lower back rolling against the mat, but who cares? It feels good. And maybe you've achieved that goal of getting your thigh all the way to the floor and then being able to come back up again. That's kind of challenging at times. All right, let's release the feet and come down, feet to the floor, and then roll to the side and push up to seated. And we're going to bring our feet in front of us and transition to a low squat. So feet in front, widen them out, hands behind. We're going to lift our booty off the floor, bring one elbow into the knee and the other elbow into the knee, and you're in a low squat. Let your feet rest the way they want to be. Maybe you want to be on the balls of your feet. Maybe you want to be flat on your feet. It's your anatomy that dictates which is more comfortable. And let your pelvis, your hips, your low back all just kind of sink down and be weightless and supported. Unclench any muscles there. Maybe gently sway or look over your shoulders. And if you find palm to palm easy with your forearms in a line, try knuckle to knuckle with your forearms in a line. And that will stretch your inner thighs a bit more. All right, we're going to transition to standing. Take it slow. Drop your hands to the mat and slowly lift your hips, straightening your legs until you're in forward fold. So just hang out here in forward fold. You can grab your elbows and sway. Relax down from the hips. Maybe you can touch your toes. If not, maybe you want to put something in front of you for your hands to rest on. And now we're going to engage the core muscles and begin to slowly roll up. So roll up your low back, your mid back, your upper back, That takes a long time. And then roll your shoulders back and straighten your neck. And here you are standing. Beautiful. My head's cut off. So I'm going to come into warrior one. So we're going to find a place where you can stand with your feet under your hips. You're standing straight and tall, and step back with your left foot. So find a position in your space where you're able to come into this stance. So the right foot and thigh, the right knee is over your right ankle, and your left leg is behind you, and your hips are facing forward. So place your hands on your hip bones and make sure that your chest and your hips are rotated forward towards your front thigh. And then we're going to raise the arms up, and here we are in warrior one. Sink your weight down into your open stance. I'm really feeling a big stretch in the left calf. Breathe. Another stretch here in the front hip flexor on the left side. Sink your weight down into your feet. Feel the weight coming down into your heels and the balls of your feet. Now we're going to open up into warrior two. So your left arm comes back and your right arm comes down, and your arms are lined up with your legs. I'll shift so you can see that a little better. There we go. So warrior two, your front heel is pointing at your back arch, and your arms are level. Sink down. Look over your front fingers. Feel the strength building in your right quad. Sink down, and you'll see your right knee is over your right ankle. Now we're going to come into reverse warrior. So drop your back arm and lift your right arm. So your left arm can rest on your left thigh, or it can wrap around it behind you. Either way. This pose always reminds me of the logo from Hamilton. So we're reaching up for the sky. You can look up at your hand if that's comfortable. Now I'm feeling a pretty intense stretch here in the left inner thigh. You can make this more or less extreme. It can be a back bend or a side bend. Sink down into your stance. There's a tendency to stand as things get tough. And now we're going to come back down, arms level to warrior two. Rotate back to the front. So your hips are facing front again. Bring your hands behind you, clasp. So we're opening up the chest like we do for robin's breast. And lower your chest down onto your right thigh for humble warrior. Resting your upper body weight on your right thigh. Sink down into your stance. Keep your right knee over your right ankle. You can rest your hands on your back or lift them, whichever is comfortable. And now we're going to transition, if you want, into a one-legged pose, warrior three. So you can just sit down and do some other stretches if you don't want to try this. We're going to bring the hands to either side of your front foot. Flip your left heel up, so you're in a runner's lunge. And we're going to transition to standing on the right leg only by hopping your left foot forward as you straighten your right leg. And as soon as your right leg is straight, try to lift your left leg into the air behind you while bringing your hands to heart center. This is warrior three. Ooh, lost my balance. It's a tough one. So it's okay. If you lose your balance, just come back and try again. Or not, sit down on the floor, whatever, it's your practice. So straight right leg, straight left leg, body trying to look like a capital T. There we go. And if you're feeling more stable than I was, you can try extending your arms like airplane wings behind you, or even reaching straight out in front of you like Superman, but that's very challenging. So let's come back to standing and shake things out. Woo! It's amazing how a bunch of standing poses can be tiring. So let's hug up the knee, to stretch the low back. Another one-legged pose. And switch. Get my face on camera, there we go. When you're doing this, shoulders back and chest open. Feel the length in your low back. And release. All right, let's do it all on the other side. I'm going to take a water break. Stay hydrated, everybody. And come to a place where you can be standing straight up, feet under your hips, and step the right leg back this time. Your left knee is over your left ankle, and your right leg is extended behind you. And rotate your hips to the front. So your hips, your arms are rotated to the front. Keep sinking down so that your left knee is over your left ankle. Hips facing forward, arms in the air, warrior one. Let your weight sink down through your feet, the heels and balls of your feet. Feeling a big stretch, for me anyway, in the right hip flexor. And maybe in your right calf. And now we're going to come into warrior two. So lower your arms to level, and like magic, your hips are now rotating to the front. So arms are level. Sink down into your stance, so your left knee is over your left ankle. Let your weight sink down into your feet, and then look over your front fingers. Breathe. Sink your weight down. Strength in your left quad. All right, reverse warrior. Drop your back hand. It can rest on your back leg or wrap around you. See my fingers wiggling? And then lift up high, reach for the ceiling, look at your hand. Feel like Hamilton, you're not throwing away your shot. Sink down into your feet. Beautiful. And now we're going to come back to warrior two and rotate to the front, and hands meet behind you, and lower your chest down to your left thigh for humble warrior. Feel how this takes the weight off your low back. Your hands can rest clasped on your low back or lift up for a shoulder stretch. Let your back foot pivot. It's going to want to pivot. Don't make it stay in one spot. That's okay. Let it help you find your balance. Breathe. One more. Okay, and now drop your hands to either side of your foot and flip up your back heel. So you can, from here, you can just drop your knee and go into whatever stretch you like, or you can follow me into warrior three again, the one-legged balance. So we're going to hop the right foot forward as we straighten the left leg. And once your left leg is straight, bring your hands to heart center and begin to lift your right foot off the floor. And we're coming into a T shape, where the body and the right leg are the top of the T, and the left leg is the stem. Breathe, pull your shoulders back. Let your body lean forward, and that's when I lose my balance. C'est la vie. And once you gain your balance, you can extend your arms like wings, or if you have a strong back, you can reach forward like Superman, but I don't, so I'm not going to. And we'll come down to standing. Oh, good job. All right, let's do that knee thing again. Lifting your knee up to your chest. Breathe. This is great for your low back. Switch. Again, pull your shoulders back, open your chest. If you're hunching forward in this position, you're actually putting more strain on your low back and not stretching it. And now we're going to make our way slowly down to the ground for one more back stretch and twist before Shavasana. So on your back, let's do a big, long, full body stretch. And we're in position for banana. So much fun. So imagine you're a clock. Your hands are 12 and your feet are at 6. We're going to kick your right leg out to about 7, maybe 8 o'clock. And now your right hand grabs your left wrist and pulls it toward your feet, toward maybe 11 o'clock. And then cross your left ankle over your right leg. So everything is arcing to the right. You're a banana. Look at you. Maybe you're a rainbow, whatever arch you like. Relax. Feel the stretch in your left side. Breathe. And then bring everything back to center to 12 and 6. Big breath. And then we'll go the other way. So now we're going to kick your left foot out to maybe 4 or 5 o'clock. Let's cross the right ankle over it right away this time. I kind of mixed things up last time. And now your left hand grabs your right wrist and pulls toward 1 o'clock. And now we're arching to the left. Big stretchy banana. Feeling a stretch all along the right side, down into your quad, up into your armpit. Breathe. And then everything back to center. Big, long stretch. And let's curl up into a little ball. Bring your knees up, bring your forehead to your knees, grab your heels. Squinch up into a little ball. Feel your back pressed into the mat. Oh, that always feels really nice to me. And release into your Shavasana pose. So you might have your legs fully extended for Shavasana. You might want a cushion under your knees to protect your low back. And if that's not enough for your low back, then bring your feet up close to your body but wide and let your knees sink in and support each other. And that's maximum support for the low back. Let your upper body relax with your palms up. Let your breath flow through your body. Imagine your body is a sponge in the ocean and the waves are blowing, just flowing through all the holes, clearing everything out, bringing in fresh oxygen. And you hardly have to do a thing. Let the breath breathe itself. Relax your head. Let it sink back into the mat. Relax your face. Let your forehead be soft and smooth. Let your eyes be soft and unfocused. Let your mouth relax. Let your jaw relax. Let your tongue relax. And as you relax your tongue, feel your whole throat relax. And feel how your neck is supported by your head and your shoulders. Let your neck just sink into that support. Let your shoulders sink back into the mat. Let your upper arms and elbows rest on the mat. Let your forearms and wrists relax. Let the backs of your hands rest heavy on the mat. And let your fingers be softly curled. Bring your attention to your rib cage. Let it soften and sink downward and backward. Let your belly sink downward, backward. Let your pelvis relax. Unclench any muscles in your pelvic area. Let your glutes relax. Let your thighs and hamstrings go soft. Let your knees be soft. And your calves. Let your heels sink heavy into the mat. Let your whole foot relax. Let your toes be soft. And just feel the waves of breath washing over you. Take a deep breath, pulling oxygen into every part of your body. And begin to move your body, very small movements at first. Fingers, toes, eyelids. And then enlarging those movements gradually. Wrists, ankles, neck. And then pay attention to your back for a moment. Does your back crave something in particular? A long stretch, a curl up into a ball? Give it what it wants. And when you're ready, roll over to one side, resting in the supported fetal position with your head on your arm. This is a position where we traditionally either experience gratitude or think about new beginnings. And when you're ready, push up and join me in seated. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Namaste.